Okay, perfect. The session is now recording. Good morning again, dear colleagues. My name is Lawrence from the Research Capacity Development Unit. I am delighted to be your moderator for today's workshop. I would like to start off by thanking the attendees who's joining us today for this workshop, and also thanking our presenter, Ms. Tamara Francis, for preparing this presentation. Before introducing Ms. Tamara to you, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping rules, of which I am aware most of you would be aware of the rules. Please do note that if you do have any questions during the session, please raise your hand and I will unmute your mic and I will indicate the question to Ms. Tamara and she will address the question. As I mentioned, that this session will be recorded and I will request her presentation slides so that we can post them on our model communities for access of all the attendees and all the participants. And also please note that I will be sending a feedback survey in the chat session. So this is the evaluation that we use for these workshops to see how these workshops are useful and how we can improve them in the future. And also please to provide some kind word for our facilitator. So before I begin again, or before I hand over to Ms. Tamara, please allow me to read over her bio. Ms. Tamara is a strategic marketing and communication professional within the Faculty of Art, Design, and Architecture at the University of Johannesburg. She leads key faculty initiatives, including the development and execution of integrated marketing campaigns, brand positioning, and high-impact digital strategies. Her portfolio spans the coordination of major events, the production of tailored marketing content, and the enhancement of stakeholder engagement through effective communication platforms. With a results-driven approach and commitment to excellence, Ms. Tamara plays a pivotal role in advancing the faculty visibility, outreach, and institutional objectives. Her education is she holds a master's of commerce in business management, specializing in marketing, and she holds an honors in corporate communication and a national diploma in public relations management. And she also holds conference papers with the title Facebook and Higher Education in South Africa, a case of a selected comprehensive university. She also holds another conference paper, Reading Leverage of Marketing Communication Opportunities by Using Facebook in Faculties at a Selected Comprehensive University, and also a paper, Facebook Usage by the University of Johannesburg paper, accepted for presentation at the 2022 South African Institute of Management Sciences Conference in Port Alfred, South Africa. So without any further ado, I'd like to hand over to Ms. Francis. You may proceed. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all well this morning. Lawrence, can you please tell me if you can see my screen?
Yet. Yes, I've stopped sharing from my side. Yes, we can see your screen.
Let me just make it bigger in presenter mode. Yeah, 1 second.
All right.
Is that better?
Yes, perfect. Can all the attendees see it? Please just indicate with a thumbs up.
Okay,
Yes.
guys, I'm
Yes, I
gonna
think we can
start
all see it.
now.
Yes.
Can everybody hear me? And can you all hear me clearly? Can we just do the last thumbs up, please? Okay, perfect.
Yes,
Right,
perfect.
guys, we're a small group, so I'm gonna try and make this engaging as possible. You don't have to wait to ask questions till the end. If you have a question on a specific slide, let's talk through it. Let's try and make this as collaborative as possible so that we don't get bored. And let's try and work together in working through the slide. So my name is Tamara Francis, and today I'm going to discuss using various platforms for outreach and engagement. So guys, as you all know, in today's connected world, your online presence is your professional handshake, so make it count. I'm just going to open up with that, and I'm going to leave it to sit and stew with you in your minds for a little bit, and we can get back to that quote later on. Okay, so an overview. Understanding your outreach and engagement goals. So effectively engaging with audiences across multiple platforms is essential for academics and professionals aiming to expand their influence. So this presentation is just going to guide you through defining your goals, understanding your audience, and expertly navigating diverse digital spaces. This is to maximize your own outreach impact. Okay, so understanding your outreach and engagement goals. Outreach is about building your visibility and about building your networks. And engagement focuses more on building meaningful connections with your audiences. Do we have any questions so far? I know we just started and it's an overview. Okay, I'm going to carry on, right? So let's dive straight into it. Let's get right into it. So clarifying your outreach engagement as well as your outreach goal. Okay. Do you want to be visible? So what I'm trying to say is that we're going to have to now sit and you're going to, while we're going through the presentation, think about your own research, think about your own projects that you are busy with at the moment, and ask yourself these questions so long in your mind so that maybe throughout the presentation you can answer it for yourselves. So the first set of questions I'm posing to you is what do you want to do with your outreach platforms? Do you want to create visibility? Do you want yourself to be visible? Do you want to build a reputation for yourself? Like, do you want to become an expert in a specific field? Do you want to be known as a thought leader regarding a specific topic? So do you want to build yourself a reputation? Or do you want to just collaborate with other academics? Are you busy in a specific research field and would you like to now collaborate with other academics in different institutions? Or it could be a collaboration with academics within our own organization as well, right? So these are questions you need to start asking yourself is what is it that you would like to do? What are your goals? Do you want to build a community? Or maybe you just want to disseminate your research. Maybe you did some really interesting research or wrote a really interesting paper and you would just like to share it with the university community or maybe the external broader academic community. So you need to define and understand what your goals are. Okay, so every saying goal type, visibility and reputation building, collaboration as well as networking, community building, or dissemination of research. Now your time horizons. We have long-term versus short-term goals. So your long-term goals would be to build your reputation online, to establish yourself as a thought leader, to create and maintain a sustained influence. Why this is a long-term goal is because this cannot be done within a week or within a month. This is going to take you posting continuously online on various platforms. And after a while, you're going to grow into this type of content sharer. Whereas your short-term goal is sharing events, promotions. It's your quick update. So that's the main difference between your time horizons, your long-term goals versus your short-term goals. Alignment. So you aim to align your goals with your time horizons. Example, if your goal is to create visibility and build your reputation, your timeline would be long-term goal. And please note, and I'm going to say this a few times, and there's going to be a few things I'm going to say a few times throughout, and you'll understand why later. When it comes to outreach platforms, when it comes to platforms like social media, when it comes to your own personal website, these are things that are going to take a lot of time. So please be patient with yourself and be consistent with whatever you do. Okay, any questions? Okay, moving along swiftly. Identifying and understanding your target audience, right? So the question you'd ask is, why do you need to know your audience? Because your audience, knowing your audience is going to help you to shape your message. It will also affect your platform choice. And as you'll see later, as we go through this presentation, we're going to go through various different types of platforms that you can choose to use. So understanding your audience, understanding who they are, understanding the type of content that they like to view, that they are constantly watching, is really going to assist you in your own personal strategy. Your audience may be diverse. It could include people like your peers, your fellow researchers, industry, professionals, or even the general public. You're going to need to unpack and understand who it is you're trying to target and who your specific audience is. Who do you want to talk to and why do you want to talk to them? What is the message it is that you would like to share with them? These are questions, as I've said earlier, you need to start asking yourself and you need to start jotting the answers down as they come to you, because this is really going to assist you in putting together your own strategy and your own plan. Take a step back. Try and consider your audience's online behavior, because also your audience online behavior might be similar to your own, because you're probably people that are liking similar things or have the same interest in specific research topics. So which platforms would they use or which platforms are they on? Knowing this and understanding this can assist you with driving effective engagement. Then we have audience profiling. So now you get information and you try and understand who they are, what they need, and how they behave. Tips. Things to look out for can be, maybe you can break it down into their age group. Maybe you can break it down into a specific gender depending on your research topic. Or maybe it can be broken down into architecture. An example, as you saw in my bio, I'm in the Faculty of Art, Design and Architecture. So if one of my postgraduate students who's specifically focused on architecture wants to disseminate their information, when they're sharing information on specific platforms, they can literally go into targeting people who have interest, hobbies, or job profiles that have the word architecture in them. That's just an example of how you can really narrow down your target audience. What problems is your audience trying to solve, or what solutions are they seeking? So these are questions, as I've said, that we need to be asking ourselves in the background. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the key outreach platforms, right? So I've broken it down into 3 different sections. We have your academic sections, your social media sections, your personal, as well as your professional. So here I've given you an overview of some of the top or the trending research or academic platforms specifically. You all can see on the screen what they are. Can anybody tell me if they are on any of these? Are you currently on any of these? Do you have an account with them? Anybody? Have you even heard of some of them?
I think I've used, from my side, I've used ResearchGate and Google Scholar. I don't know about the other participants.
Anyone else?
You can type them in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic and speak. Gabriel, I see you have your mic on.
Yes, can you hear me, Lawrence?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Myself, I've used, I'm on ORCID, I'm on Academia, in fact, I'm on all of them.
Oh, and how do you find, like, what's your experience been with being on all of these platforms? Like, are they easy to use? Are you getting outreach? Is your information reaching the people it's intended to reach?
Mostly, I think on ResearchGate, people do access Google Scholar. I think that is the most, where my profile, I also maintain my profile there. So every research that I do, I put it on Google Scholar. Also, sometimes some of it, if depending on which the indexing, which database, the journal that maybe you would have published to is indexed on, they also just link it directly there. Then they also work with ORCID as well.
Yeah.
So some of them, because whenever you publish, then it automatically, it is captured automatically on Google Scholar. Then Academia, not very, I don't use it much because Academia usually okay, sometimes they send sort of like false information in terms of people having looked at your article and so on, but then later they ask you that you must subscribe for the premium for you to be able to view who would have viewed your research. Yeah.
There's a bit of a payment involved there, yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Is there anyone else that's on any of these platforms? And would you like to share your experience with it? Okay, so I'm just going to give a brief overview on what they are for those of you that aren't familiar with it. And then we're going to go into the pros and the cons and the best practices when utilizing these platforms, right? So ResearchGate is a platform where researchers share papers, ask questions, and connect with each other in their field. Google Scholar is a free search engine for finding academic articles, theses, books, conference papers, etc. ORCID, you can create a unique ID that links to all of your work, making it easy to track all of your publications. And Academia EDU is a website where academics can upload and share their research with a global audience. So I know that this is text heavy, but as the moderator said, we're going to share this presentation with you guys. I thought it would be very useful if you could have these slides in front of you so that when you're busy working on each of these platforms, you could see for yourself what the strengths, weaknesses are, as well as what the best practices are for the specific platforms, right? So with ResearchGate, it's strong for academic networking. It allows uploading of full text papers, peer-to-peer interaction and question forums. However, it's not universally accepted by all institutions. There's limited integration with the citation databases. The best practices for ResearchGate is to regularly update your profile, engage in the discussions that are taking place there, and share publications and track the impact. Google Scholar is a widely used citation index, automatically updates your citations and your trackings, and it's easy to set up and to use. The weakness is it lacks detailed analytics. It's susceptible to false positives or duplicates. So the best practice here is keep your public profile current. Merge duplicate entries and use it to monitor your research impact. ORCID, it's a persistent digital identifier for researchers, recognized globally across platforms and publishers. It helps with author disambiguation. It's less interactive, however, and it's not really a platform for you to communicate with your other academics or peers. It's not a content sharing platform. What's good to do is to include your ORCID link in all publications, grant applications, as well as CVs, and to keep affiliations and works up to date all of the time. Academia, EDU, share papers, presentations, and syllabi, analytics on views and download, and it has a broad academic community. Some features, as we've said earlier, is behind paywall. So there's only so many features you can use that are for free, and then afterwards they're going to ask you to now pay a fee to use the enhanced features. It's not peer-reviewed content. Upload drafts or publish versions of your work, take content for discoverability, and engage with your niche. Colleagues, as you can see, I think the important thing for us to note here is, and we need to remember this, and like I said, I'm going to repeat this throughout the presentation, you need to constantly be updating your information. If you are on all of these platforms, updating one platform does not mean it automatically updates on all of the other platforms. So a key part of your strategy, of your outreach strategy, of building your online digital profile is to be consistent and to continuously update your work and information as and when is needed. I'm in a faculty, I work with various academics, I work with various researchers. And what often happens is they do amazing things and the world doesn't get to know about it is because they don't share their content or they don't update all of these platforms. So please, please, please just keep this in the back of your mind. One of the key aspects for your strategy is update all of your platforms, update all of your platforms. Okay, next we're going to the fun one, which is social media. So which social media platforms are you on? And please tell me, like, which ones are you on in your personal capacity versus which platforms you're on your professional or your research capacity?
From my side, I am on Twitter, Instagram. I don't have a TikTok account. Instagram, Twitter is for personal stuff, interaction, basically social media platform. But LinkedIn is more of like my professional, file, professional academic platform.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know about the others.
Can anyone tell me what you would think the pros and cons are of some of these platforms? Like, you can tell me which platforms you're on and what do you think some of the pros are and some of the cons are. Anyone?
For myself,
Dr. Gabriel?
Yes, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, I can
Yes.
hear you.
Okay, so I'm also on Twitter, X, Instagram. I think if you're on Facebook, then automatically you also have an Instagram account, but I'm not really very active on that. TikTok, I've never been on the platform. I don't have a TikTok account. But for LinkedIn, I think it's a more of a professional, kind of a social platform where you interact with professionals, from your field, and also from it's sort of a multidisciplinary kind of where you can also interact with others from different fields. So there, I also try to maintain my profile, professionally. But you can access because on LinkedIn it's more of connections as well, you know, in terms of
Yes.
networking and so on. On Twitter, it's usually engagement, also at a bit of a professional level, but also just mixed, because there's a lot of, you know, it's not it's celebrities and so on and so on Twitter, unlike on LinkedIn, where usually it's mostly professional engagements. I think that those are the two that I. So in terms of advantages, you know, just like any other social you know, platform, they are good for, you know, marketing and so on, but also the information that you put there it can also be sort of something that can be detrimental if you do not really see what you put on those social profiles.
Yes, and what you put online is online for forever. I'm
Yeah.
not making you scared, I'm just saying. So, so let's go into detail now of these platforms, right? Guys, before I go any further, I just want you to note that because we're speaking of 4 different platforms, I'm in no way suggesting that you need to be on every platform. Even with the academic platforms, because we spoke of so many, we spoke of your ResearchGate, your Google Scholar, ORCID, Academia EDU, it doesn't mean you need to be on all of them. I'm just touching base on the ones that are trending, on the ones that are mostly used at the moment. But I think it's up to you as the individual to decide what your strengths and your weaknesses are and which platforms is best suited for your research, okay? So because you're seeing like our colleague now just said he's on LinkedIn and he's on Twitter, it doesn't mean now you need to go and create a TikTok account and start making videos. If that's not what you feel comfortable with 100%, then you put in all of your efforts in LinkedIn and Twitter and you make that work for you. It's completely up to you. There is no one size fits all here. You're going to have to tailor your strategy to suit your own needs and also what you're comfortable with. Some of us, to be fair and to be honest, are not comfortable making TikTok videos. We don't want to be in front of the camera. And that's completely okay. Then we go on Instagram and we go on LinkedIn. Okay, so we're going to find the platform that suits us. So let's go through some of the pros and the cons, the weaknesses and the strengths, right? So for LinkedIn, it's for professional networking, academic and industry visibility, and it's great for publishing your articles as well as sharing all of your achievements and accolades, okay? The weakness is it's limited casual engagement, so it's a very professional platform, and there's a slow reach compared to other platforms. When I'm saying a slow reach, what I'm saying is that you're not going to necessarily go viral on LinkedIn. Your content, the reach is slower. The people that are going to like and share your content are most likely going to be the people that's already within your network. So there is room for it to reach bigger audiences. It's just going to take a lot more time as opposed to the other platforms. Best practices for LinkedIn is to share your academic milestones, share your articles as well as your research, connect with relevant groups as well as professionals, use appropriate hashtags like hashtag postgradlife or hashtag research. So those are the best practices when posting your own content on LinkedIn, because this is how people are going to find the content that is relevant to them or find the content you're posting when they're looking for it, okay? So Twitter, or X as it's now called, real-time updates. This is a fast platform. It moves really fast. It's good for academic discussions, hashtags, and following trends, and it has an extremely broad reach. However, as we all know what to tweet, it has a very short lifespan. And Twitter can also be very noisy and very distracting. Like something is trending now, within a few hours, it's no more trending, it's something else. It's a social media platform that has a very quick turnover and it's very noisy and very busy. So, you know, topics are constantly changing all of the time. You can engage yourself in academic threads. You can participate in relevant hashtags, hashtag academic Twitter, and share updates concisely with links to more info. So one of another kind of a weakness is that we all know you're only given a specific amount of characters to share on Twitter or X. So you can't share lengthy information. You can't, your information has to be very concise, very accurate, and very to the point. Instagram is very visually driven. This is good for engagement with peers, ideal for event promotion. And also, you can come up with fun and creative behind the scenes content. It's limited with its professional tone, and it's harder to share external links. For those of you that are on Instagram, you will know full well that you're unable to add a link into your actual post. So what you then need to do is you need to add the link to your content in your bio. So that can be, that can be a little bit of an extra step for you to take when sharing content. But we are going to speak about something that will help mitigate that problem later on. Use your stories to share quick updates. Post reels about events, conferences, or research days. Include clear visuals as well as captions. And lastly, TikTok. So TikTok has high engagement amongst your younger audiences. It's a creative way to explain your research, and it has huge potential for viral reach. It can be time consuming because you have to create quality content, and TikTok does have less academic credibility. However, there are people, or there is opportunity to grow yourself as a specific expert or a thought leader in a specific field on TikTok. Use trends to explain research in fun and creative ways. Keep your videos short, keep them clear, keep them relevant, and include call to actions for engagement. So I think the best practice for everything here, for all of the social media platforms, is to at some point include a call to action for engagement. Because often people post content and then what are people supposed to do with it? So it's always nice to, when you ending your specific post or ending your specific video, is to have a call to action. For those of you that aren't familiar with what a call to action is, if it's an event, please join us for the event. My exhibition is opening tonight at 5 o'clock. You are giving them an action. If it's not an event, if it's a research paper that you're sharing or content, your call to action could be something along the lines of, if you would like more information about this, or if you're curious, or if you would like me to share my slides, or if you'd like me to share snippets of my research, please sign up for my newsletter. That's just an example of a call to action, giving people something to do at the end of your specific post. Guys, any questions with social media? Because social media is really something I feel that we should be on and we should be using to share our work with. Any questions?
I just want to ask, in terms of all this platform, which is one of the best in terms of like, fast reaching, like if you want to, make sure that your content is like out there real quick, which one would you recommend out of like the four?
Okay, so LinkedIn is very professional, but like we said, it has a slower reach compared to other platforms. Then my next option would be Instagram, because Instagram, you don't necessarily have to create this intent-driven videos as TikTok is. TikTok is mostly videos. So with Instagram, what you could do is just take a few photos, even of your research. I mean, if you're actually making or building stuff, and then you could create your post and you could create your reels. I just think Instagram would be a little bit easier as opposed to TikTok to reach your goals.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. Colleagues, next we're going to speak about your own personal platforms. Does anyone have a website or a portfolio page? Like if I want to know more information about you now academically, how would I know that? Who are you? What are your interests? What is your research interest? What papers have you written? What conferences have you shared at? Does anyone have a personal portfolio of sorts?
On my side, usually if somebody would ask for like a professional personal portfolio, probably give them your LinkedIn account. I don't know if we'll probably give them your LinkedIn account. From my side, usually if somebody would ask, or maybe your CV, but I don't have any website or anything that from my side. I don't have any website or any portfolios.
Okay, fair enough. Guys, in today's day and age, I think that it's important for us to, and when we're saying website, firstly, I know people get overwhelmed at the thought of website. It seems like a daunting task that, oh my word, now here I am going to have to build this website or get a web developer to build a site. Those days are gone. The way technology has progressed and the tools that are available to us makes it extremely simple and easy for us to actually create a personal platform for ourselves. I mean, you can use Wix. The Wix free online one, I've created 1 or 2 websites on there. It really provides you with the basics and everything you need just to get yourself, up and running and started. So website or portfolios, it's to build a space that showcases your work professionally. It's a space where you get to control your narrative and you get to control how people view and see you. This is like your own personal space. You know, like at home, we all have that one spot at home that is just yours, or maybe it's that one couch or chair that's yours. So consider your website, or be it your portfolio space, to be like your own personal space where you get to do with it what you please. You get to showcase yourself in a way that you want to. You get to show the world a part of you and you get them to see it in the way you want to see it. So you get to tailor the view of yourself. Um, Control your narrative. This is your space. Highlight your best projects. Put amazing pictures, put some show reels if you can. Like, make this a really interactive platform if you are choosing to go this route. Again, keep it updated. Always keep these platforms updated. And at the bottom to your, if you are going to create a website or you're going to create a Behance portfolio, always add a link. A link either to your email address, or if you want to create a MailChimp account, which we're going to speak about later, whichever you choose, it's just so that if people are keen or interested in something you're doing, if someone wants to collaborate with you, always ensure that you have provided information on how they can reach you, how they can contact you, and how they can get hold of you, okay? Sometimes we forget the basics. It sounds simple, but there's been many occasions when I've been online and then wanted to reach someone and then I'm struggling to find their contact information. So MailChimp, you can sign up for the free account. Again, we do not need to go for the paid for version. And what this platform is used for is you use this to email newsletters, to communicate updates, and to share information. So if you have a website and people are really interested in your specific research, at the bottom, you're going to have a link. Please sign up here to get more information. They're going to sign up. I'm going to give you my name, my surname, my email address. MailChimp collects all for you. And next week or next month, you've done some really interesting research again, and you'd really like to share it. And remember, guys, these are people that are now interested. These are people that are asking, may I please have your information? May I please have these updates? Send me the information. Like, these are really focused, targeted audiences. All you do is you log into your MailChimp account, you create a template, you collate your research, and you can send out a blast via email, via MailChimp. So it's a really good platform to be familiar with as well. Important to note what these platforms is, you know, with the POPI Act, we need to be so careful, right? So just make sure that you can prove that I have signed up. On MailChimp, it's automatic. You can literally see I've signed up, the date, the time. I have ticked the box saying I want to receive your messages. And also, when you are sending this type of information out, always have an opt-out button at the bottom. So should I decide, okay, you know what, I'm tired of this, I no longer want to receive this, that's my prerogative. No one can get upset with me, and I should have the option to choose, no, thank you, I want to opt out of this. I no longer want to receive these emails, okay? Those are things that are very important, and please, please, please keep that in mind if you are going to be sending emails to people. WhatsApp. So WhatsApp, you can create or join these academic groups. It's for updates or information sharing. This is not a professional information sharing platform. Can we just get that clear off the bat? Yes, it can be used in a professional capacity, but it is not an official professional sharing platform. You can send broadcasts, you can send out your invites to your events, you can send out reminders of specific activities taking place. Keep your communication very targeted, and also please try and not spam people. Furthermore, if you are going to create WhatsApp groups, and these WhatsApp groups are going to be specific to a specific niche or people that want to get information on a specific topic, from the offset and do a reminder, set boundaries and set rules for your group. Like, you know, rules are basic. What content should and should not be shared. We do not want to hear about the dog's cat auntie's neighbor that passed away last night, or the neighbor who was making a noise. You get what I'm saying? WhatsApp can sometimes be very noisy, and this is where you lose your people, or people are leaving groups or opting out of groups. Just outline like 5 important rules. This is the content that will be posted. Please do not share any other types of content. And you can make the rules up to suit whatever you feel is necessary, but just try and manage these groups so it does not get out of hand, and ensure that these groups are used specifically for the point and purpose for which you are creating it. Lastly, we have university platforms. Why wouldn't you use university platforms? I mean, I feel that you should be starting with your university platforms. You have a faculty backing you up, firstly. First, you have a department. Then you have the faculty. Then you have the postgraduate school. Then you have the entire backing of the university. There's various platforms and ways in which you can be sharing your content. Please, whatever platforms are available, I think you should really try and make sure that all of your work is updated on the university platforms. And here's the reasons why. So let's go into the platforms, the strengths, the weaknesses, as well as the best practices, right? So like we said, for your personal website, you have full creative content control. You can showcase research projects visually. It's great for building your personal academic brand. Also, it's a link that you can now add to all of your social media profiles as well as your academic profiles. Weaknesses, it requires time and some technical setup, and it's harder to drive traffic initially. But keyword is initially. Anything that just starts is going to take a minute to develop and to grow. As we said, be consistent and be patient. Best practices, keep your content fresh, keep it organized, have a link to your CV, your publications, as well as all of your contact info. Use keywords and SEO best practices. MailChimp, as we've spoken about, you can do targeted email campaigns. It's good for newsletters, events, as well as updates. There are analytics to track engagement. You can literally see on MailChimp how many people opened it, who exactly opened it, what time they opened it. That's the level of detail MailChimp goes into. The weakness, you may require audience building from scratch. As we said, if you do not have proof that people have agreed for you to send them information, you're going to have to put a link somewhere, or you're going to have to ask them to sign up to receive your information. You can end up in spam if not managed well. So just be careful of how many times you're emailing and the type of content you're sending. The last thing you want is you put all of this effort in and then you're just going to end up in someone's spam folder, right? Build a clean mailing list, keep design clean and professional. Use it for research updates or surveys as well as academic events. WhatsApp, we spoke about that. Instant reach, high engagement. Good for small groups, reminders, and informal communication. It's limited formatting. It's not ideal for formal content, and it's not searchable or archived for long-term use. It can be used for group announcements, quick polls, as well as updates. Keep your messages clear, keep them professional, and link to other platforms that has more information. University platforms, high academic credibility, direct link to institutional audiences, often supported by all your internal teams. You may have a slow update process, limit control over design or timing. Just to unpack this a little bit more, slow update process means that the university has a web team. The web team consists it's under 5 people. I work with them all of the time. They do the entire university website. So when it say it's slow to update, there is a time frame. You send it to them and it can take 3 to 5 days for your information to be uploaded. Limit control over design on timing. You're putting anything on any UJ platform, you fall within the UJ branding guidelines, the end full stop. You have no say over where the logo goes or what colors go. No, no, no. The university is a brand on its own. So when you say limited control over design or timing, it means you're going to send it to your marketer. She's going to update it and it's going to be on the website, and the website is exactly the way it is. You have no creative say over that. In your own personal platform, yes. On any UJ platform, no, you don't. And lastly, share your profile events or articles. Ensure content is approved and accurate, and collaborate with faculty marketing teams. All faculties have a marketing manager, a marketing coordinator, or someone that handles the marketing. Reach out to them, be nice to them, build a relationship with them, because they can really help you in their own capacity to push your work, to create awareness around your work. They know the ins and outs of all of the university platforms. So I would strongly suggest is building a good relationship with faculty-specific marketers. Okay, guys, any questions? Let's take a minute to have a discussion. Any questions so far? What are you thinking? What are your favorite channels? Are some of you going to have a website, or is it too much work to build a website? Is anyone there?
Yes, I just wanted to ask, in terms of university platforms, is it only, let's say, research stuff that you can only ask department or faculty to, to market for you, or you can also ask them to, market your personal stuff, because maybe sometimes people think that, you can only use university platforms for only university related content, because sometimes people opt not to use university platforms. They might be reluctant to use them because, you think maybe you're not allowed to use them for your personal stuff. Is that an option that we can also use for personal stuff, or maybe it's only limited to university resources, your research surrounding that type of resources? Sorry, can you hear me, Tamara? Can you hear me? Anybody? Dr. Gabriel?
Yes, I can hear you, Lawrence. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, maybe we just lost the.
I think we lost her. I know. Yeah, I think maybe we lost her there.
If you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Can hear you. I think we lost you a bit there.
Okay, am I back now?
Yes, you're back.
Okay, so what I was explaining is that I can't speak for all of the faculties, but this is how it works in our faculty, right?
Yes.
I will share your content provided it has a UJ logo on it.
Okay,
Or it's a
perfect.
collaboration of some sort, because we need to know that you you are part of the University of Johannesburg.
Okay, as
So
you
everything
mentioned
you
that,
do, yeah,
I'm saying,
go ahead.
as you mentioned that you have limited control to designs and timing,
Yeah.
since it's university based platforms. So as you say that it has to have a UJ logo type, and the marketing of the university, as you mentioned.
Mm. And then in your own personal capacity, sometimes the faculty might share it and sometimes they won't. Again, it depends, because sometimes in your own personal capacity, you're collaborating with other researchers, or it's still very relevant and valid to your specific faculty. And then I'm sure that they have no problem in sharing it. But then there are other times where it's really personal and it has absolutely nothing to do with the institution. And in instances like that, I doubt they're going to share it. Am I making
Okay.
sense? You're just going to be able to differentiate the difference.
Yes, and I understood.
And it should
Yeah.
be noted that different platforms serve different purposes, okay? And each platform has a unique tone. So be strategic when using each platform by understanding your end goal, understanding your audience, and by creating content that is specifically suited for the platform you choose. That's the fun part about the website. The website is the one place you get to do anything you like, and everything
Yeah.
you say goes.
Yeah, true. Just to thing there to interject. To the participants, please note that I've posted the feedback survey link in the chat session, so kindly ask you to kindly fill it in. And also, if you do have any questions as we're going on, please type them in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic, because I've unmuted everybody's mic. So you can just unmute your mic and make your contribution. Thank you. I think we can proceed.
Okay, we're almost done. I think we passed the halfway mark, colleagues. Okay, so
Okay.
now we're going to speak about designing your multiple platform strategy, right? So now we know what all the platforms are, and we know the pros and cons, and we know the weaknesses and strengths. We understand all of that. So how are we going to now design our own specific strategic plan or strategy for ourselves? Okay, so firstly, why not put all your eggs in one basket? Because I've said this a few times already, different platforms reach different audiences. So relying on one platform limits your visibility and it limits your impact. But when I say this, I am not by any means implying that you need to be on all platforms. One is too few, so just choose one or two even that you feel your audience is on, and this will increase your visibility as well as your impact. Choosing the right platform. So each platform, and we've just spoken about this, has strengths. Earlier, we spoke about your goals. So what is nice is match your goal towards your platform. What are your goals? You'd like to share events, you'd like to share your research. Go through the pros and cons of all of the platforms and see which one you think would best be suited for your specific needs. Choosing the right platform, think about what you want to achieve and where your audience spends most of their time, and choose platforms that's going to support your purpose. Frequency, consistency, and tone alignment. Post on a regular basis. Keep your style consistent. Match your tone to your platform as well as your audience. When I'm saying match your tone to your platform and your audience, you'll understand, like we said earlier, LinkedIn is professional. So match your tone accordingly. You're not going to say something like, good morning, guys, it's a Tuesday today on LinkedIn. It's a very professional platform. So you just be aware of the words you're using and the way you're communicating. Managing time and expectations, be realistic. Example, and we said this before, you're not going to gain 100,000 followers in a week unless you post a really amazing video on TikTok and it goes viral. Be consistent, be patient with yourself. Choose platforms that you are comfortable with and choose platforms that you can manage. Set clear goals. Okay, so those are managing your expectations. I thought I'm going to go into this. I learned this in my second year of public relations, and it's something that has really stuck with me. And I thought it would be nice to share, and I'm sure most of you know exactly what this is, because I think that this really helps me as well when we're posting content for the faculty or we're writing news articles, whatever it might be, right? When creating a post, always ask yourself these questions. It seems simple, but when you ask yourself these questions, you'll at least know that your audience will also know the answers to these questions when you are done creating your content. Who? Who is the person or group involved? Who is responsible? Who is affected? Who is the target audience? When? When did it happen? When did your research take place? Where will it take place? Where is the most relevant? What? Focus on the event topic or action. What happened? What is the issue or the subject? What is the goal? What is the objective? Why? Why is this happening? Why is it important? Why was it done that way? And how? Look at the process, look at the method. Questions to ask. How did it happen? How did it work? How will it be implemented? Just ask yourself these things when putting together your content, be it a LinkedIn profile, be it a Instagram post or a reel. I think sometimes, we post content and we don't ask ourselves these questions, but yet these are the questions that the people receiving our content are asking themselves. Okay, so who's this? So why did this happen? How did it happen? Why is this actually important? So just think of creative ways to answer these questions and ensure that you are answering them when you are creating content. Content characteristics. Be authentic and relatable. Let your real voice and personality come through to build trust. We all have a unique personality. I'm sure you have an academic persona as well. Let it shine through. Like, be exactly who you are. People will relate with you if you're more authentic as opposed to you trying to be someone you're not. Relevant, share content that's relevant, that's timely. Focus on topics your audience cares about right now. So it's also important to just keep abreast of what's all the trends, what's the subjects that people are talking about. Because it would be nice if, when something is trending, that you could be an expert in this field and you could post content relating to this, giving a different perspective. Use compelling storytelling, frame your message in a way that connects emotionally and intellectually. This again is going to link to the previous one. Answer who, what, when, how, why. Answer these questions when you are creating your content. Appealing visuals. Include strong appealing visuals. Support your content with high quality images or graphics that grab attention, especially on your visual platforms. Like Instagram, we're saying is a visual platform. So what are people going to look at first? They're first going to look at that image. Make it be an eye-catching image or an image that makes them stop scrolling. We need to get people to stop scrolling and to stop and interact and engage with your post. Another thing I learned when I was studying, and this also stays with me, is KISS, and I'm sure you've all heard it before. We used to say, keep it simple, stupid, and we used to laugh about it. But the correct way is to say is keep it simple and keep it straightforward. Remember this, KISS. Do not overcomplicate things. Use clear and simple language and make your content easy for people to understand. Sometimes what happens is, being in an academic environment, there's also terminologies and there's a way in which we speak and we use language terminologies, we use a higher form of English that not everybody understands. Guys, keep this in mind. Understand who your audience is, who is receiving these messages. Not everyone who's going to see your post, who's going to read your content, is going to be an academic. So where possible, yes, I understand certain terminologies are certain terminologies. We can't change that 100%. But where possible, simplify your language, simplify your post, simplify your content. Enhance it with visually appealing images. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. Short and simple is best. Any questions? We're almost there, guys. I think we have 3 or 4 more slides.
There's no questions at this point. We can proceed.
Choose 2 or 3 platforms and do them well. Like I said, and I've said this before now, I'm probably sounding like a bit of a scratch record. We've spoken, I think we've been to about 15 platforms already. Okay, to be honest and to be fair, it's impossible to be on all of those platforms. It's also going to be extremely time consuming and impossible to manage all of these platforms. So sit and choose. Choose your platforms carefully, choose them well. Focus on a few platforms that you feel you can manage, but when you choose these platforms, work on them and work on them well. Give it your all, create your content, be consistent, and you're going to see eventually you're going to start building your own following with time. Avoid duplicating content verbatim per platform. What I'm saying is you cannot copy and paste as is from LinkedIn for Instagram. Not going to work. Completely different platforms with completely different tones. As we've said before, LinkedIn is very professional. So you'd speak in a very professional tone. You'd phrase your sentences. Your sentence structure would be completely different as opposed to Instagram. Instagram is a little bit more fun. It's a bit more playful. So you can use the same content, but do not copy and paste. You cannot copy and paste from Instagram to Facebook to Twitter it's not going to work. However, take the key aspects of your messages, the who, what, when, why, how. Have that information in front of you and then say, okay, professionally put together a few lines, share a link. A little bit more fun way to do it, Instagram. Change the wording, make it a little bit more fun, a bit more playful. It's still professional, yes, but it's not as professional as LinkedIn. So try and change the word structure. Try and add an emoji here or there. Make it a little bit more fun for this specific platform, and then you share it. Plan your content calendar to post consistently. Consistency is key with social media, as well as your own website, as well as all of these other platforms. You cannot post now and then forget about it, and then in 6 months you're posting again, and then you're like, oh, but my social media following is not growing, or social media doesn't work. No, anything works. As much effort as you're going to put into it is as much as results you're going to get. And again, be patient with yourself. These things take time. Ask yourself what platforms align with your strengths and your audience. Pick platforms where you feel confident. I said this before, I'm saying this again. If you're not comfortable in front of a screen, TikTok is not for you. If you are comfortable in front of a screen, if you feel that you're quirky and you relate well with the audience, yes, TikTok is exactly the platform you should be on and you should be sharing your content with. Tone and tools. As we said, maintain a consistent tone. Your tone shapes your message and how your message is perceived. Consistency builds trust and helps your audience connect with you. Whether formal, informal, friendly, or professional, stay consistent across all of your platforms. When you're creating a calendar, at least twice a week, I think minimum twice a week, you should be sharing content. You should be engaging with your audience. No less than that. More is great, but no less than 2 times. Choose the right tools for your messages. Select tools that align with your messages or your audiences. Use platforms like your email, your social media, your videos. So different platforms have different tools. So like on TikTok, you can do really nice videos and there's built-in tools that make you look differently, that changes your background. On Instagram, you can change your photos, you can make your photos look in different tones. So this is what I'm talking about. All of these platforms comes with its own built-in tools. So just use those tools effectively. Adapt your tone. We just spoke about this. The tone should be different for the platforms in which you are planning on using. Then, colleagues, I want to speak about use available tools to enhance delivery. So scheduling tools. There's a tool called Hootsuite that we used to use. So what Hootsuite does is that instead of going on Instagram, going on Twitter, going on TikTok, going on all of these various platforms, you sign up to Hootsuite, and there's two others. There's Buffer as well as Later. And what you do is you can manage all of your accounts from this dashboard, as well as schedule it. So on a Sunday afternoon, you can sit and you can schedule all of your posts for the week, and this like Hootsuite would ensure that your posts are then being posted on all of the various platforms at a specific time. Content creation. Are any of you familiar with Canva? So how do you create your content? Like, what platforms are you using to create your Instagram posts, to create your videos? What tools are you using?
Yes,
Colleagues?
I'm familiar with Canva.
And how amazing is that, right? Design at your
Yeah.
fingertips.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. You can design a lot of things actually, especially even if you have the pro one, because you know some of the features you'd want you to subscribe to it.
Yes, yes.
Yes, but I've used the Canva for some of editing some of the videos and whatever content that you might want to post on social media.
So in the free one, I mean, yes, it has limited a number of pictures, but there is also a library of thousands of pictures that you could use.
Yes, yes, there is.
And then there's also Adobe Express. And then for videos, there's CapCut for video. So when we're saying tools, I'm meaning these are the tools that we need to be using to ease our lives, to help us. So after this
Yes.
presentation, I'm not saying go out there and go and get yourself a web designer, go and get yourself a graphic designer, go and spend money now. All these resources are available. All of these tools are available to us as individuals. It's just a matter of us taking the time to learn, to understand, and to utilize.
Yeah, then there's
Lastly,
also this
yes, please.
sorry, but then there's also this new tool that has been trending recently,
Yeah,
where people change themselves to anime or cartoons, posting on social media. I don't know if you've seen such.
I haven't. What's it called?
So it's like platform basically where it's like an anime tool that you use, so you can turn any picture of yours that you think you take into a cartoon. So it turns you into like a cartoon or anime type using the photo app.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
If you remember the name, please give it to us. I'd like to try it.
Yes, for iOS, whether I use an iPhone, it's called Photo app. So you can usually go back and change. You can change and chop, enhance, change filters to studio, to tunes, animal, Ghibli, play. It like changes you basically. So you can post any photo of yours in an anime basically.
Okay, that sounds fun. I'm gonna do this after this meeting.
Yeah. I think you should check it out. You should check it out definitely.
And then, colleagues, the last tool I'd like to speak about, and I think this tool is particularly important, right, is your link management. So what happens now is, so let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you're an overachiever and you now decide to have a website, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You decide to be in all of this. You decide to be an Orchid. You understand? So you feel that you are going to be on all of these platforms. However, now you have like 10 different links. Excuse me, linking to 10 different stuff. Excuse me 1 minute. Thank you. So what Linktree does is, it's literally called Linktree. You go, you create yourself an account. You can even log in with your Google account. And all this does is it takes all of your links from every platform that you have, or all of your profiles, all of your handles, and it puts it in one place. So now when you do share a link, you literally share your Linktree link. And when someone clicks on there, they can see all of your links and they can decide, okay, I want to see his papers published on Google Scholar. Okay, I want to see his TikTok. Okay, I want to see his Instagram. So please remember, link management, Linktree. Especially if you have multiple links, because it's difficult to now, even in your Instagram bio, it's very difficult to put so many different links in the bio. So once you create your Linktree link, there's it sorted. And it's really easy to create and really easy to update. You just need the list of all of your links. You're going to put your name, your surname. You can change your picture to your own photo or to whatever photo you like. You're going to add all of your links in and that's it. Ta-da! Your Linktree link is sorted out. Okay, almost at the end. Here we're going to go to monitoring, key matrix. So monitor your reach. So once you've created the content, so you set your goals, you've been through your platforms, you've established which platforms it is that you'd like to use, you've created content using all of the tools, you've got your tone checked, you've answered the 5 W's and the H. Now you're posting, you're out there and you're posting and you're sharing your information with the world. What's important is that it doesn't end there. Okay, just sharing information and not checking what's working and what's not working, that's not going to work, right? So what we need to now do is you need to monitor your reach, your impressions, your clicks, measure how many people are seeing and interacting with your content, your likes, your shares, your comments, your saves. Track engagement, understand how your audience is reacting to your content. Academic citations and collaborations, look at how your content is referenced and if it sparks any collaborations in your field. Each of these platforms has its own analytical tools that you can use and that you can tap into. For Instagram, you can track your engagement, your followers, your growth, as well as your post performance. For LinkedIn, you can monitor the professional audience interactions. You can actually see which people with what job titles and industry trends are engaging with your content. For Twitter, you can analyze your tweet performance, your audience demographics, as well as your engagement patterns. On Google Analytics, you can measure your website traffic. You can see how effective your email campaign was and what your audience behavior is. Why I'm saying this is because you can post 5 different pieces of content, and one piece of content can literally have 100,000 likes, and another piece of content can have 2 people having viewed it. But if you take the time to understand which content has 100,000 likes, what was it about that content that got people to engage, that got people to interact, and you post more of that type of content, you're only going to grow your reach and grow your following, because clearly that's working, as opposed to the other piece of content that only got 2 views. So you need to be constantly analyzing yourself and how you're doing things and adjust and adapt. There is no set strategy. You need to be adaptable in the online environment. If this is not working, no problem, move on, try something else until you find a formula that works for you. Last one, guys, and we're just wrapping up, and then I have a case study which we can go through. Okay. With everything we do, there's ethics, there's professionalism, and there's best practices, right? Respect and privacy, intellectual property, citation, digital footprint, as well as professionalism. So your digital footprint and professionalism. Remember, your posts reflect your academic and your professional image. This is something we sometimes forget, guys. Even in our own personal capacity, I'm sorry, I just want to be the person that reminds you what you post online is a reflection of who you are and sometimes of who you work for. So just be conscious and be cognizant of the fact of this when you are posting, that your post reflects not just you, but a lot of other aspects which you are involved in. Think before you post. Think before you post. Do not get angry. Do not get upset and post. Think. Please, content lives online for forever. I'm saying this again in your professional as well as your personal capacity. I cannot get into a fight with you and then go on Facebook or go on Instagram and then start having this online war with you or telling you nonsense, or just think before you post. Maintain a respectful tone in all of your digital interactions. Again, maintain your level of professionalism. You want to make yourself known as an expert. You want to make yourself known as someone that people turn to. Then behave as such even online. Respect and privacy. Always seek permission before sharing content involving others. I spoke about this, especially if you're going to send emails and stuff. Ask for permission. We're not allowed to just go on the university database, get everyone's information and send them information. It does not work like that. Avoid posting sensitive and personal information, even pictures. Guys, you would not like me to screenshot a photo of you with you chewing and your mouth is open and you just look odd in the specific image. And here I am putting it on all my brochures, putting it on the front of the website, putting it on my Instagram post. Be conscious of this. Do unto others what you would have them do unto you. Do not share inappropriate information about anybody. Ask their permission first. Respect boundaries in group chat as well as in public post. Intellectual property and citations. Credit original creators and authors clearly. Plagiarism is serious. Give credit to people who deserve credit. We are in an academic environment. We all understand the importance of this. Use proper referencing for shared research. Use proper referencing for visuals. Avoid plagiarism, even on informal platforms. Cybersecurity and safe sharing. Use secure passwords and privacy. Avoid sharing institutional or research data without the proper clearance. And be cautious of phishing and fake academic platforms. And that's a wrap from me. Anybody have any question or anything else they'd like to contribute?
Thank you so much, Mr. Mara Francis. We really appreciate your presentation with the workshop title Using Various Platforms for Outreach and Engagement. The RCD unit, Research Capacity Development Unit, really appreciates your support and taking the time to giving this presentation to our attendees. If there's any further questions from the participants, please let's engage with Mr. Mara. If you have any questions for her, please engage. Please type them in the chat session and we can engage. Thank you.
Just to note that I have put together, I'm going to send you my presentation, and I've also put together a bit of a case study.
Okay.
And we can send that to everybody that attended, because it will actually just show you, give you an example of what platforms to use in a content calendar. If you'd like, I can go through it now, but I think my time is up, so I'll share it with everyone.
Okay, no, perfect, no, perfect. That'll be amazing. You can share it with me, and we will definitely be sharing it with all the attendees. Is there any other questions from the participants? So I've shared that link of the studio art style. Maybe you can check it out later and see how you can run around. You can just manipulate it around from your side. So it actually turns you to like into a cartoon once you thingy. You upload your photo on it there. If you can see my screen right there. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so if you upload your photo, as you can see, this lady, she uploaded the before photo and the after photo. You can see how it looks.
Yeah. Oh, it does. She looks so animated.
Yes, it looks animated, yes. So this is like, this new thing that people have been playing around with. Yeah, so basically that is the new, it's called Ghibli, I don't know, Ghibli art, originally from Japan. So it's this new art that a lot of people have been posting on social medias, instead of like posting your real picture, you just turn that into like a Ghibli art of yourself, basically, yeah.
I'm very fascinated. I'm going to be doing this now for the next 15 minutes. Thank you for sharing. It's always so nice to learn about new tools.
Nah, definitely. Because there are quite some free apps. So hopefully you can just play around the internet. Maybe you can find some free apps. And also you can use ChatGPT as well. You can upload your picture on ChatGPT and tell it to get it into this anime. It'll do that for you as well.
It'll be fascinating to see how I look at the cartoon character.
Yes. So just try it. Also with ChatGPT, also it can turn this picture for you into a cartoon type, yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I've uploaded the case study as well as the presentation on the chat as well, so everyone has access to it.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much again, Mr. Mara. Really appreciate you at the Research Capacity Development Unit for giving us this presentation, and apologies for the low attendance. I think most of the people are probably in long weekend mood as we just started.
I think so too.
Yeah, because we just have a 2-day week, so I believe maybe most of the people are not available, or maybe are out for the long weekend. But thank you so much for presenting. So as I've mentioned that I've recorded this session, so those maybe who didn't attend will probably put up the presentation and together with your presentation slides, and they should be able to access them from there further. So thank you so much. At this point, I don't see any questions, but I just want to thank all the attendees that are here. Thank you so much for taking your time to join. And once again, thank you again, Ms. Tamara, for taking your time and for honoring our invite here at the RCD unit. Hope to collaborate further soon. And thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. In that sense, I don't know if there's any other contribution maybe from your side, Ms. Tamara, then we can end the session. If there's anything that you'd like to add before we can end the session.
I'd just like to say thank you to you. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I hope we do cross paths again. And have a lovely day, everyone else, and a nice long weekend that's coming up.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Tamara, and thank you so much to all the attendees, and enjoy the rest of your day further.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.